we are going to create a couple projects using cardstock leftovers. And this is a example of what we are going to be making today. So this is what I have so far used leftovers of cardstock for all the projects that I have made so far. And as you can see, I have a lot of paper leftovers. So, and these are also leftovers for specific designs that I created, and then I thought, well, I can save them, keep them together for later. So now the question is, what can we make with these leftovers? Let's check what we can do. Okay, so I kind of pre-selected a couple pieces here, and there are sections like this one that we cannot use them at all for anything, but we are gonna actually use it today for a couple things that we can do about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this piece like this, and this is what I'm gonna use for my projects today. You can use either your scissors or you can cut the pieces with a cutting machine. So I'm gonna use these corners and this area also, and I can use this one, and what is left I can kind of put it separated in another group for another projects that I can make. So, and this is something that we can do when we are kind of organizing paper or our craft room. I try to do it once in a while. Or when my mess is getting too big. So these are all the kind of sections that I can use, or even for pieces for another car or things like that. And this also helps to reorganize paper once again. So I try to keep the leftovers 12 by 12 inches in one place and the rest in a different one. So I kind of know what I have when I try to use leftovers once again. Okay, so now that I kind of have pre-selected the paper that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna start cutting pieces like this. And these are the ones that I'm gonna be using, because these are for the sections that there is no way to use them or on anything else, because they are very thin, and if you try to cut anything with your Cricut, you cannot do it because it's not enough space. And this is something that we can do when we are watching TV, for example, or just kind of doing something else where we can kind of do two things at a time. And doing this, we are already saving a lot of paper, because these sections that I'm cutting right now are the ones that we barely use, and we just threw away the paper, and it's a good way to use it. And if you see my pieces of paper that I'm using to cut these have other shapes that I may use later for a different type of projects that we will see on the video with the second part of using leftovers. And these pieces don't need to have the same measurement, as is one of the cool things that we can have once you see how I'm gonna put them together. So they don't need to have the same measurement, they don't need to have the same size or even shape when we see the part 2 of this video. So then I kind of grouped the paper by colors. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of printer paper, the white one, and then I'm going to glue these pieces on top of it. And the reason why I'm using a normal sheet of paper, white paper, which is printer paper, is because once these pieces are glued, it's going to be a little bit thicker combined. So this is how I'm going to glue all the pieces that I cut previously. And this is also something that you can do while you're watching TV, for example, or doing something that doesn't require much of attention, or if we are cooking and waiting for something to get cooked. This is something that we could do also. And you can create these even when you are not ready to use it, because what you will have is you just have kind of like the paper with patterns, and then once you are ready to use it, so you have the paper already created. And then once, it's up to you how much of the page 8.5 by 11 inches want to use, or depending on the paper that you have cut already. And then you need to let it dry in a flat space or something very heavy on top, so the page is gonna keep straight, because the glue sometimes makes the paper a little bit wrinkled. So for this one that I'm making right now, I'm using only kind of Thanksgiving fall colors, because one of the cards that we are going to make is for Thanksgiving. But the arrangement, it could be anything that you want to. And if you notice, the pieces have different shapes, but that actually gives a nice look to these pieces so far. Almost done here. And we need to let it dry before we use it, so there's no rush. If you create it one day and use it later, that's even better, because it will be completely dry. And then I'm just cut the excess, and here is my piece of paper that I can use later. So I have this one also, and I have this with red and green for Christmas, and this one kind of creating a different pattern, and I can save these pieces left for another project also. So let's see what we can do with this now. So these are the designs that we are going to make with leftovers. This is the first card that we are going to make. This section is made with leftovers along with this little GIF image. And these are some leftovers from the card number 3. So the second one is going to be a card like this one. This part, the background that you see with colors is made with leftovers like this piece. So it's a long piece or a rectangle like this. And also the letters are made with leftovers. You can see they look very nice with different tones of orange. Also I use some of leftovers of the card, and these are also made with leftovers, like this piece. And the card number 3 is gonna be like this. These pieces are made with leftovers also. It's hard to see the image because they are small, but I created a big one so you can see how this design will look if you make it bigger. So you can see that looks very nice, creating leftovers this way. So this is kind of the front, and this is how it looks in the back, so you can see the leftover paper that we made. So let's start with this. Okay, I'm in design space right now, and I'm gonna start kind of creating things or projects that I can use for the paper leftovers that I already put together. And for example, for the colors red and green, I think it will be cool if I create something saying Merry Christmas. So let's take a look and see what we find in design space. Let's go to ownership and click free. So we have these two options. Probably these are kind of thin letters, so probably will be a better option if we use this. So let's use this one. So I'm gonna click insert images. And let's check the size of my paper. So I have a piece of 11 inches by almost 4 inches. So let's make it the height up to 3.5. Let's make it 3, and then so it's 3.5. But if we want to fit it on a card, let's check for a simple card and see what we get here. So we can see some here that are free and they already have a cool design. So for example, we could use this type of paper leftovers design in something like this, and we could have all these part with different colors, which will be very cool. Since the one I created is just for by section, so I don't have enough material to do this, but let's just take a look, select it and take a look later and see if we can use it or not. And then we can use it for things like this also, for example, or for a GIF will be a cool idea too. Let's select this one. And let's see what else can we use for. Let's go all the way to the top and start over. Let's use this one in case the other one is not So this one seems to be small. Let's see how big we can get it here. So my size, let's see how big can I make it. If I use that one, will be like 3.5 by, so this part will be 3.5. Let's 3.5 and see how big we get it. So probably could be let's bring it to the front, maybe something like this. I'm just gonna check in, so I'm gonna ungroup this and I'm gonna hide the envelope because I'm not gonna use it right now. So I'm bringing my card here, and then I'm gonna ungroup this because I don't want the other parts. So I'm gonna use only, so let's see what we have here. So it seems like we can use this part like this, and then this one we definitely need it because it has it's part of the design. Well, okay, let's do that then. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the red and green leftovers that I put together for this kind of frame, and then I'm gonna use the green one for the word Merry Christmas, and we will see how it looks. That way you kinda have the chance to see both, and these are gonna go like this. So let's just kinda take a look and see how it will look like. If I have mostly red ones, and then this one will be green with the green tones that I put together. So this is kind of how it's gonna look like. And we could also create this small piece out of the leftovers, but since I don't have kind of like a contrast in between, so I'm just gonna leave it as white, or I will see what color works. So this card has 5 inches by 7, so we can make it a little bit smaller, maybe just a little bit, so we can have this frame more center. And this one is gonna go just like this. Okay, and since I still have some pieces that I can use, so I'm gonna put this red also so I can match it with this once I make the cats. So I'm gonna select this red one, and it's gonna have all those colors around. So, and this one could go, let's check center front. We could add it maybe something like this. I'm gonna remove this one. Let me just check if I have something in under. No, okay, so we are good. So this is gonna be basically my card for these leftovers that I use. And also one thing that we could do is since we are using leftovers for the frame, maybe we can just leave this Merry Christmas in one color, so the contrast is a better contrast in between, and we can use the green one for this one. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna change the color for the gift like this, but this one, it has to be a different color so they are not showing up in the same mat. Okay, let's cut this project and see what we get. Okay, let's create our second card right now. So I'm gonna go to let's check projects and see what we have. We type cards, and then I'm gonna select free for Explorer Air 2 because that's the machine I have, and I think we can use this one because it kind of has these little things as Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna click customize, and what I'm gonna do here, so if you see we have these little pieces, but I actually don't need it because I can use the paper I created. So I'm going to gonna get rid of all of these little pieces. Just gonna select them all in once. I keep pressing shift so I can select them all at the same time, and then I'm gonna delete. So I'm gonna hide the envelope because I don't need it right now, and then this could be the paper that I can use with my leftovers. Let's just check how much we need. So it needs to be 5.6. Let me check if I have that first. I may don't have it. By 4. 5.6 by 4. Seems that I have it. The only thing is that I don't want it to say thanks. I want it to say Thanksgiving. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to the envelope and check contour, and then I'm gonna remove the word thanks. Okay, and then I'm gonna click here, and now I'm gonna look for something that says Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna go to images, and I'm gonna type Thanksgiving and see what we get. And I need something free. I don't have letters. Let's check the ones that I purchased. Okay, let's try just typing things. Let's check thankful. Nothing either. Okay, let's remove the free and see what we have. Thanksgiving. So it could be nice to make something kind of like this, but it needs to be in one word because of the design that we are using, or something like this. But I want to use something free, so you can create the same card if you want to. It seems like I don't have options here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the word Thanksgiving by myself. So I'm gonna go to text, and I'm gonna type Thanksgiving, and I'm just gonna use regular words because since I'm using leftovers, I want to make sure they are gonna work. So could be something like this. But I wanted to also say Happy Thanksgiving. So think that what I can do is just draw the word happy. I'm gonna do capital letter, and I'm just gonna select a different type, like an Arial, I don't know, let's see what we have here. Maybe something like this, happy. And this will have to be smaller to fit the space here. Let's see, maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so that seems to work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach this to the card, and this is gonna also draw instead cut. And then let's send this to the back, and these are gonna be the letters that I'm gonna make using my fancy paper. And then maybe so I'm gonna use the leftovers paper to create the Thanksgiving, and then I'm gonna see if I can combine the green color with the orange on these sections, and probably all what I need to do will be to kind of measure the spaces. So let's see, I'm not gonna need this one actually, unless I want to use it just to cover the part that I'm gonna put right here. So let's see, it seems like it needs to be 1.77. let's see if I have that distance. Oh yeah, so I can do one with the green color and the other one with the orange color, just to kind of have those contrasts. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna leave this one because I want to cover these two sections that I'm gonna use for the word, have to add those different tones here. And let's cut this card now. But before that, I'm just gonna save it. Oh, it doesn't let me save it. I'm gonna hit save as. It's because it was already a project, so that's what I need to save it as, so I can say card 2, save. Okay, so let's go and make the cuts. And for my last card using leftovers, I'm gonna look for Christmas ornaments. Let's see what we have. Let's go to ownership and look for something that is free. I need something that is kind of rounded to for what I have in mind. Let's see. I don't have many options here. let's try this. So I'm gonna make this so but what I need is the center needs to be with kind of like spaces, because that's where I'm gonna use the paper leftovers. Let's see if I can do something here. So I'm gonna change the color so I can see what I have, and I'm gonna use contour to hide this little piece because I'm gonna make it smaller and put it on top right here. So I'm gonna select align center horizontally and vertically, and then I'm gonna slice. And this is the piece that I want. So now I'm gonna do the same with this one. So I'm gonna do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I'm gonna go to contour, hide that section, and then make it smaller. Change the color and put it on top. Make it a little bit smaller here. Okay, so now I'm gonna select both, align them. So this one probably I can take it down a little bit. Let's do it like this. And then I'm gonna do the same with this one. This one is not exactly what I want, but I'm gonna use it regardless. I'll make it a little bit smaller, maybe. Yeah, I think that's better. And then I'm gonna slice this. Okay, so I'm gonna use these 3 images, but something that I want to do is so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make a cup. Let me just think about it for a little bit. Let's look for a card. I already had. Okay, let's use this one. And I'm gonna make it, let's see, 8.5 inches here by 5.5. So I'm gonna change this, which is the normal size of a card. So this is my card, and it's gonna fold, so I kinda need this half. So what I can do here is I can make these little guys, and then to front. And then this is gonna be the third one. So something like this. Let's see, where is the half. Okay, I have good space there. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a copy of each one, and those are gonna be in different colors. So let's take a look. I'm gonna use green color for this one. I'm gonna use, let's say this is silver, no, but it's gonna look like the car, okay. And then this one is gonna be red, just to have Christmas colors. So I'm gonna make these using glitter, and then these are the ones that I want here. But what I'm gonna do with these guys, based on the paper leftover that I wanna use, is I'm gonna create kind of like a frame for each one. So let's bring them here. Shapes. I don't know if that will be better, if a circle or a square. Let's see how this will look like. Maybe a circle will be a good idea. Okay, so I'm just gonna Control C, Control V, Control B for the other two, and you will see later why I'm doing this. This one seems to fit, and front, this one fits also. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just move this a little bit, and I'm gonna use the align option to have my ornament center, and then I'm gonna hit slice, and then I'm gonna delete these two, and this is how my piece is gonna be. Then I'm gonna do the same with this one. I'm gonna align, vertical, and then slice. And I actually don't need those little dots, but let's leave them like that anyways. Okay, that's the second one, and then the last one. So I'm gonna hit line center, vertical, and then slice again. Okay, so these are my three little guys here that are gonna be placed this way, because this is a Christmas card, and yeah, I have the right space here to do that. And then these are the pieces that are gonna go on top like this, send to front. So at the end, these little pieces inside are not gonna be used, because I'm basically using the entire piece for the leftovers. So what I'm gonna do here, let's bring it to 100 here, and I'm just gonna remove it right away, so I have it like this, just like this. And then I'm gonna do the same with this one, because I don't need that center piece. Just gonna hit here, and I'm gonna bring my little guy here, just like this, and then I'm gonna do the same with this one. And since I don't need the dots, I'm also removing it. Center front. So let's remove the dot, the little one, this one. Forgot to do it right away, and then I'm gonna do the same with this one. Okay, and then this part is gonna be orange, just to match the season. Well, it's actually more this color. And then I'm just gonna make this one blue, just to have it a different color towards the others. And don't worry about these, because these are the ones that are gonna have the leftover papers, so I'm not gonna be worried about that right now. And then here I'm just gonna leave it like that, and then inside maybe we can say Happy Christmas. So I'm gonna look for text. No. Let's go to images again, and I'm gonna type Christmas. Christmas, and I already have it, the option free. So we can use this one just to draw. These are very cool. I like these, but these are printable, and you can see when you select it, and you can see that over there. So this one is just to draw, and this one is also to draw, I believe. So let's use that one that I already selected, but I still need to find the one that says Christmas. I'm gonna select this one too, just to add a couple of things to draw. And let's use this one too. What else? What else? Well, I'm gonna just type Merry Christmas. Let's use this one again. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, so this actually goes on the this one, so I'm just gonna make a copy just to kind of have an idea where my images should go and everything else. So I'm gonna bring this back one here. Nope. Okay, so this one is gonna go center front. I'm gonna put it right in the center. And then for this one is, I'm just gonna remove the word Merry, and I'm just gonna leave Christmas. Center front, and I'm gonna make those let's see, no, well, let's say yellow, but it's actually gonna be gold. So then this one, I'll make it smaller here. It's gonna go right here. And this one's gonna go right here. And then I'm gonna write the word happy. Happy Christmas instead Merry Christmas. Something like this. I'm just gonna make sure that the Santa Claus is centered. Well, it wasn't, as you can see. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this bring this one back here. Everything is showing up as is in front, but it's not. And then I'm just gonna, before I do that, I need to hide this one for now, and then all of this needs to be attached, well, except for Christmas, because I'm gonna cut this. So this will have to go attached. That way, once I go to make it, we can see that everything is in place, and this is how it's gonna be this is how my Cricut is gonna draw everything here. Okay, so now that we have everything pretty much ready, I'm just gonna hit this because I noticed that it was taking the blue when I attach it, because it's grouped, so I have to ungroup it and then do this part again. So let's just gonna group it for now, just to bring it back here. Well, actually I don't want to do that. I'm gonna hit on group again. I'm just gonna bring the blue one here. Gonna hit on group again. So this one is to go here. I'm gonna click send to back, and this one also send to back. And I'm gonna leave it like this so you can see what part goes at front and what part goes in the back. So these three little decorations, they don't need to they don't need to be attached because they are gonna be added on top of my card. And then now I'm just gonna attach these pieces. So I'm gonna attach that, and then I'm going to cut and show you what are we gonna do with these pieces to use them along with our leftover paper made. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.